good place to start would be that awesome rebrand that we did about, I think it was about 3 years ago now, but the rebrand that we did.
No longer than
Uh,
that, am I? We must be talking
Four?
five. Coming
Has
up
it already
five.
been 5 years?
Yeah, it was June 21.
Wow, that's a long time.
Isn't it?
It's a long time. Could definitely test each other's memories then. Um, can you talk me through what the reason was for the rebrand? Why did the business and why did you embark on a rebrand? What was the reason for it?
Um, the main reason was because Ellis Machinery, as we were then, was known for ploughs particularly. Um, and we had obviously branched into new stuff around where we obviously had a full range of machinery and we were doing a lot more export. So it was really a case of just the family basically decided they wanted to kind of take the family name out of it and make it something that could be taken to Europe for export and could be associated to all these other things we were doing.
Yeah, awesome. So expanding opportunity, right? Taking
Mm.
it from this is what we have been doing, but actually under a rebrand, repositioning ourselves, we want to be able to look at other opportunity, international markets, international revenue, and then other areas of the business as well, rather than just the selling of machinery, as it were. Would that be fair?
Yes, yeah, definitely. There was, like I say, the hire. We obviously, even we weren't doing so much with then, but since then we've moved into farm clearance and a lot more buying direct from farms. Um, so yeah, it was like you say, it was a case of saying this is where we've got to, and this is what we're known as for this one thing. But if we want to be, to grow to where we want to be, we felt that we wanted to have something that we could build as a brand that we could grow with.
Awesome. Oh, great. And in terms of once you come up with the new name Amtec Group, um, we then set about looking at the mechanics of rebranding from a digital and a website perspective.
Mm.
Um, could you talk me through the key points of that, where we partnered together that you remember in particular, where you valued Polaris in that equation?
Probably the biggest reason you value Polaris is because I haven't even really thought about all that side of things. Um, yes,
Sounds right. Sounds good.
actually
Yeah.
one of the biggest concerns was because we were obviously going new domain and everything. It was obviously a massive change all round, uh, and we were, in fairness, pretty nervous about how it was going to go down. Um, Along with obviously the rebrand anyway, keeping that recognition out there, there was the worry that we take away something that has been success. Our Alice Machine website was doing a good job for us. So yeah, it was pretty important, and yeah, we were definitely very much reliant on Polaris to get us through that because it was something I'd never attempted before.
Yes. Yeah. And it's the unknown, right? You don't know what. I guess from your side, you're responsible for marketing. You're the stakeholder inside the business, and you've got to ensure continuity. So, I guess from your side, not having gone through a rebrand or a migration before, you would have appreciated having Polaris take care of that responsibility for you and guiding you. Would you say? Would that be fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I've never attempted anything like it before, so I was sort of aware that there was it was a big step, and you had to obviously do a lot of things to make sure you didn't have that drop off. But I didn't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from that perspective, yeah, we're very thankful for what you guys did in just beforehand. I know we pushed you a little to a shorter timeline. um, but yeah, no, very thankful for that. Even beforehand, to say, hang on, these are some steps you need to consider before going to that. And then to sort of take next afterwards as well, to be able to say, right, these are the things we need to watch, these are the things we need to consider. And to be fair, I mean, from memory, I don't think we really saw much of a blip, did we?
No,
It was
no, I think
almost
yeah,
covered.
yeah. I think even with your very tight, we're launching tomorrow deadline, 6 o'clock. The PR campaign's going out. It was wasn't it a Tuesday at 5 or 6 o'clock? I think you'd put that in motion. I think, and then you let us know after.
Yeah, that's right. We'd set this deadline of 1st of June. Internally, we probably haven't discussed it much. And so I've got a discussion with the Farmers Weekly and a PR company. Because it's obviously, from our perspective, we're looking at it from the um, internal workers say, this is our new brand and what we're going to tell our customers, etc. So we've worked with this PR company, worked with Farmers Weekly. It's been a great big launch for Ellis Machinery, is now Amtec. And then, yeah, so afterthought, so hang on, we will need the website. But yeah, it went very well.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was. Yeah, no, it did. And I think from our side as well, like working on it. I think when you called us up and you said, yeah, look, this has got to go live. The PR's happening tomorrow. I think that's where we were. I think that type of situation always happens. Actually, we have to be that agile in a migration project, and we were able to make sure that the site was launched and stable, in order for when PR goes out and we drive that huge spike of traffic through to the site. People did have a good experience over the next 24, 48 hours when you did go out through PR. So that was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And from memory, I think it was that fact of, and I guess this is from experience with you guys, but being able to say what's actually the important bits here. So it's rather than worrying about every tiny bit of the site, it's like what's actually everyone going to go to, what's actually going to be achieved first. And okay, obviously in an ideal world you would have more time and maybe got all the tiny bits done. But if some of the redirects work separate, it's like get this bit done first because this is where everyone's going to go. Make sure their experience works so they never know everything's different.
Yes, yes.
And then work the final detail out afterwards.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And project managing it so that we can continue to progress without any detriment to the business from an outside point of view, but also website visitors and ensuring that they do get that seamless experience through changeover.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, fantastic. In terms of the business, how many? Just to give an indication of the size of the website, how many products do we carry on the site, Jason? What does our portfolio look like, in your opinion, across a 12-month period? Just give a bit of information on that.
We would have 300 to 350 on at any one time. And that would, so during the course of a year, we would have, say, 1,800 machines through. Obviously, one of the things we did step up working with yourselves was actually keeping or having more products on there. So rather than just live products, we then added on things like coming soon and things that had sold were left on there for a certain amount of time. Just to show a bigger range, and also obviously from a search perspective, we had more machines out there to match the intent.
Yes, yeah. So we wanted to compete. So we compete in the index against the likes of Auto Trader and other classified sites and things like that cover machinery. And yeah, one of the things that we came up with was increasing the depth of our. We're kind of like a hybrid e-commerce site without the capability of buying, right? But we've got to have all of our inventory on the site, and we've got to be able to compete with those sites that cover a lot more categories of product. When we're quite specific and we're quite niche. So yeah, when we came up with that strategy, I think that worked really well for us in the SERP, and actually we got some great traffic and performance off the back of that, didn't we, over the last few years? That was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that whole section around coming soon and that sort of thing, it was definitely drives traffic, especially at the moment where some of the machines are quite hard to find. People are obviously looking out for a particular machine. Getting out and really being picked up in church early means we'll often get the Polaris before machines even got here.
Yeah, no, brilliant. If there's one thing you appreciate about working with Polaris, what would it be, Jason? Apart from me.
Yeah, I was going to say. No, to be honest, we have always had a really good working relationship now. It's pretty good. And I guess probably the biggest thing for me was that expertise in areas where I didn't have the expertise. I've done marketing for quite a few years, and lots of it probably dabbled in something digital. But when it actually came to, the really technical stuff, I thought that was really helpful. You guys could handle that and make it not too deep for me to be able to follow.
Yeah. No, awesome, fantastic. Okay, and I guess in terms of from an SEO perspective, what would you say has been the biggest impact you've seen from our partnership over the last 8 years or so?
Probably targeting sort of what do you call them, niche or long tail. The ones that worked really well as well. We've actually got people that are looking for a particular machine to the site. I mean, generic keywords we obviously would target as well, and we got traffic from. But it was ranking number one for a particular machine or size that was the biggest benefit, because by the time somebody was looking for that particular machine and size, getting it from them to come to the site, they're almost at the bottom of the funnel already.
Yeah, the targeting then. So targeting, understanding and segmenting out different groups based on how motivated they are and how further down the funnel they are in terms of knowing what they're looking for and at what point, and then being able to position the business to be able to capture their interest at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously that for us is probably quite a key thing, because in our industry, if we ranked number one for John Deere tractors, we would get way more traffic than we currently get. We don't really sell it. But it was understanding that all the categories and what we really wanted to pick out, and then making sure it was those ones that we put in front of them.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Cool. I suppose the only last thing would be, if there's anything else that you think would be useful for anyone considering a new partner for SEO or migrations, what you would say, I suppose, about your experience with Polaris?
I'd probably say the most important thing is to have somebody, and you guys definitely did do this, understand before all that what the outcomes will be. I mean, there's plenty of people out there offering SEO services, etc. And they probably might have the book, all these things you should do, but if that's not what's going to work for you, I think for me, the key thing was having the conversation. Obviously, we'd done a bit of work with them before the migration, but all those early conversations of, so you understood the business, you understood what we're trying to get out of it, and so we both understood those outcomes. To me, was the most important thing, because SEO can be, or even any digital marketing can be a bit of you must do it, and no one really understands it, and somebody could be pulling all over you as well. But if you clearly understand beforehand what we're trying to achieve, and like in your guys' situation, we did understand that, right, we need to get this for you, then both parties can sit there and say, we're working.
Yeah, I agree. It's the partnership, isn't it? We've both got a common goal that's understood by us both, and then we connect to deliver against it as one unit and one team.
Exactly, and like I say, going back to what I said earlier, somebody could come to me and say, I can get more traffic to your site, and they probably could. But if that isn't going to get me any more orders, then it's not going to achieve me anything, is it?
Yeah. It's actually a waste of effort and resource.
Yeah. So understanding exactly what it is we're trying to get out of it, and obviously, like you understood, it was for us, it was a lead for that particular machine, so an inquiry form. I remember saying right from the start, if somebody fills out an inquiry form on the page, that's exactly what we want to achieve.
Yes.
And we almost had that as our goal from the start, and then it meant we knew exactly what we were trying to achieve.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
No worries.